Hello, my name is Rebecca Richardson, but most people call me Becky, and today I'm here again with...
Do I need to say my name? Oh. Libby.
There we go. Libby is here with me today because we're doing another ranking video. If you've seen my other two, then I don't need to go over this beginning bit. If you haven't, apologies for the quality of this. I'm filming on my phone because my camera won't focus on the names when they're on here as well as my phone will, so the sound might also be a bit off. I'm not quite sure, but we're not filming lots of the characters today. If you've seen the other two of these videos, I did ranking male Shadowhunter Chronicles characters and female Shadowhunter Chronicles characters. Libby, however, you're what? 300 pages?
No, about 270-ish.
Libby is about 270-ish pages into City of Bones, so we're going to be ranking the City of Bones characters that she's met so far because she still hasn't met, like, Valentine and that. But the majority of them from City of Bones are here. So another thing I then need to point out is that some of the names may seem incorrect if you're already past the vault instruments. I felt slightly uncomfortable writing some of these names down because I'm so used to seeing them as different names because, as we all know, they're dodgy names in Cassandra Clare books. But I think that's all we need to cover. This is favourite up here, down to least favourite. However, I doubt you're going to need that much space because there's only, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think, characters to put on it. Final thing, these are just our opinions, as I always have to mention. Don't be offended if we think something different to you. Sometimes it just be like that. Libby's going to go first. She's going to rank them, tell you a bit about it, and then after we've both done it, we're going to sit down and we're going to look at each other's results, I guess, and discuss what we like about it and what we don't, and like why we put them in certain places and why we have some differences if we do. You never know, we might get exactly the same out of this. So without further ado, I'm going to leave it up to you.
Okay. So, I have Luke here, and I don't really like Luke, and I don't know why. I just don't like him. So, I'm gonna put him like there. Because I don't like him. I'm gonna go from the top instead, actually. So, at the top, fave, I have got Isabel, because Isabel is my absolute fave, and I adore her. So, yeah, I'm putting Isabel. I'll put Isabel right there, and then if I have to move them all down, Isabel is the top, because she's my favourite. I am then gonna, again, put Alec Lightwood, so Lightwood's at the top, because I just love them so much. And I think Alec's dead funny, in a way, and I really like him. I'm gonna put Alec there. Right. I then have Magnus, because I really like Magnus. He's funny, and I like his person. Right. I am then going to put Magnus underneath Alec, because, again, I really do like Magnus. He's nice, and I like him. I am sticking Simon. I'm sticking Simon there, because sometimes he gets on my nerves because he's like whingy every time Clary says one word to Jace. So yeah, I am then gonna put Clary there. Jace. Oh right, so I've just put Clary there because she's okay, but sometimes she gets on my nerves. So I thought that I would put Clary there. I also have Simon there because he does, again, he just talks, like he whines every time Jace and Clary speak to each other. So I thought I would put him there. So Luke is my least favourite, then it's Simon, then it's Clary. Then I really do like Jace, so I'm putting Jace. So Isabel, Alec, Magnus, Jay, and then I don't know where I put Hodge. I think I'm actually gonna put Hodge there because he's nice and all, but I haven't met him much, but I don't know exactly. I just think my opinion on him is that he's that far down the line, but he's not too far. He is 1, 2, 4, 5th, which isn't bad at all. I am done with them all, so I am going to read them all out from favourite to least favourite. So we have Isabel Lightwood because, again, I just really like her. I think she's cool, she's pretty, she's kind of like, yeah, she's just over. So Isabel, then Alec, because I just think Alec's amazing. He's so funny, and he's like really moody, and I think it's quite funny. Then Magnus, because who doesn't like Magnus? I just think he's very awesome. Yeah. Then Jace, because I do quite like Jace, just not as much as I do the others. So Jace is 4th. Then Hodge. I don't know why Hodge is there. It's just he's not one of my least faves, but he's not one of my faves. So he's like in the middle, and I don't exactly have a reason for that. He just is. We then have Clary because she gets on my nerves sometimes. She's a bit whiny sometimes, and yeah, I just not a big fan of her. Then Simon, I've already explained this because he does whine a lot when Jace and Clary are talking to each other, and it gets on my nerves. And then Luke, because I don't know, he's just not a nice person to me, and like in my opinion, and I really don't like him at all. So I'm gonna get Becky. Becky!
Hello, it's me again. I don't know if Libby said bye or anything, but I'm here now. So I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just gonna see if I could pass this off, but quite clearly from the sudden change of camera and my outfit and things, this isn't the same day as it was. That's because we went to film the second half of this video and my laptop had deleted, or maybe it's my phone, one of them had deleted the part of this video in which I did my ranking. So now we're gonna do it again before we film the second half of the video. So that's why everything looks different. I couldn't even work out the camera angle that I had this at last time to kind of block out this and this at the same time. So sorry. But other than that, everything is the same. It's the same idea. I'm now going to rank the City of Bones characters from favourite to least favourite. Obviously, the difference is that I've read a lot more of these books than Libby has. Libby's read, now I think she's about 300 pages into City of Bones, whereas I've read every Cassandra Clare book to date set in this universe. So I guess I need to try not to let my opinions of them in further books affect this. I'm going to try and work off my opinions of them in City of Bones as best I can. I'm currently rereading City of Bones actually, but I'm only 60 pages into it, so it's not as if that's gonna really help me at all. So yeah, let's just, honestly, there will be a day when I do a video like this and something doesn't go wrong. I think every one of these videos, either part of the footage has been deleted or something's gone terribly wrong every time I've been filming like this. So, I guess I should have expected this. But anyway, we're here. Let's just do it. I'm going to start with the people who I know are going to be at the top of my list. Alright, and that is Alec Lightwood, and then Magnus Bane. Them two they're my favourite actually overall out of all the Shadowhunter Chronicles characters. So, I know exactly where they are. And that's how I felt about them in book 1 as well. In fact, I know my top 3. Oh wow, this is exciting. It's not as complicated. Isabel is in 3rd. She hasn't really been in it much since I started rereading it. I'm waiting for her to show up more. But so far she's only been in it briefly. Although, I remember her kind of being shown as from Clary's point of view, she always seemed a bit bitchy, but I know that's more because Clary was a bit, I'm not like other girls in book 1, and so every other woman who showed up had to be kind of put down a bit. But Isabel is, in fact, possibly today, I'd say Isabel is one of my favourite female characters in the series. Now I'm going to go for who I know is right at the bottom, I think. And that is Hodge Starkweather. I actually forget he exists now because, he had literally no purpose after, what, book 1? Who even... Every now and then somebody would be like, Hodge Starkweather, and I'm like, who? Who's that? Although I need to come up with a good reason, I guess, because I don't think, fairly certain Libby hasn't got to the point in which Hodge turns out to be an absolute arse. So I'm just going to be like, oh, yeah, he's mean. I'm not going to be like, because he does this and spoil the book. I'll just be like, oh, I didn't think he was that good a person. He bored me or something. We'll go. This is when things get sticky. Those three I was very certain of. That I knew was going to be bottom. Left, I'm looking at Clary, Simon, Luke, and Jace. And this is every other video we've done like this. There's been a point where I've had the few left that I'm just kind of like the same on. And this is where my opinions change depending on when I look at it. Like I just said, I'm rereading City of Bones at the moment, and I was like, wow, Clary's actually quite fun. Why didn't I like her more? Then I remembered that it's because it's later in the series that she started to do my head in. I mentioned in another video I hit a point where I actually almost started skipping her perspectives. And I was rereading it and I was like, why was I like that? But it's because it wasn't City of Bones, it was later in the series. So if we're going off City of Bones Clary, then technically I do think she should be higher. But Simon's also there. Do I prefer Simon? I don't know. I like Simon's humour, but I found Simon was a bit like the kind of, like, you know, like they're just the best friend who's there to make a love triangle. Like, I'm not a love triangle person. And I think the worst parts of love triangles is when it's the best friend, because then you've got some broody guy, and then on the other side you've got, oh, but we've been best friends since childhood, and it's like incredibly pathetic. And so that instantly put me off Simon as soon as that started. I haven't got to that bit, thankfully, in City of Bones yet, but I'm waiting for it. But after that, if we're looking past City of Bones era into like the end of the Ball Instruments onwards, I do like Simon more, because once they got over the love triangle thing, you actually got to see him like as a character and not just as a plot device. But then, if I was to judge Simon post City of Bones, would I then also have to judge Clary post City of Bones, which would mean she'd be lower on my list? You know what, I'm going to go, this might end up changing, but Luke's also sat here, so I'm going to put Luke Garraway. Some of the surnames. I'm going to put Luke there for now, like literally just above Hodge, just because he didn't do anything after the Model Instruments. We never see him, and in the ones that he is in, he was never the most memorable of characters. Yeah, you know, he's been in the City of Bones a few times since I started reading it, but like, he's one of those characters, isn't he? He's not like overly relevant. So yeah, we'll put him there because I feel like the others all deserve to be higher because they're like the three mains of the series. Why does it always come down to this kind of stuff? I find I'm never at a point with these where it's just like kind of like naff characters. It's always like, oh, these are the main characters, but they're not at the top of my list. Jace, I don't know where to put. I always struggle with where to put Jace because I think he's fun. On one hand, he's funny. Jace is a funny character. He has like his one-liners, but then he's also like boring. He's one of those characters, when he wasn't boring me, he was annoying me. So I don't really know where to put Jace. I think on a turn of events, Simon might go underneath Isabel. This is a decision being made not really because of their City of Bones characters, which is what I'm supposed to be trying to do, but when you see him later on, I always liked his sense of humour, and he reminds me a lot of Kit Herondale. In a way, I find Kit's like the new Simon, with that kind of like media-centric sense of humour that everybody assumes Kit will eventually have. Like, Simon makes a lot of like Star Wars references and things, and he's kind of the nerdy character, and I did like him in that, and I liked him in Tales from the Shadowrunner Academy, and also he's been quite funny in what I've read so far of City of Bones. The like love triangle thing hasn't kicked in yet, so working off that, I think Simon deserves to be there for his relatableness as well, I guess, as a sort of more average person. So then we're left with Jace and Clary. It always comes down to weird decisions like this, where it's like two big characters. Do I prefer Jace or Clary? Pros and cons. Let's just go pros and cons. Jace, pros. He's funny. Yeah, okay. Clary, pros. She comes across as quite relatable in the beginning, even if I know that later on it's definitely not the same. God, this is hard, isn't it? Right, you know what? Different tactic. Cons. We're gonna go cons of both. Cons of Jace. He was boring in the sense that he was like every other goddamn broody love interest I've ever read about in my life. He's never been my type, which I think is something that always comes into it. People I think Jace is one of those characters, it's kind of relied on the fact that you think he's attractive, and therefore you will like him as a person. So if you don't find him attractive, you're less likely to like him as a person, because a lot of it seems to be sort of relying on you like having the hots for him. which isn't the case, so that doesn't help his argument. However, he is funny. Clary wasn't funny. Clary, like, was funny sometimes, but not in, like, an obvious way, and then, I don't know, I'm really struggling. Can I put you... I think I'm gonna put Clary first, just because I admire her, like, bravery and ambition and all the rest of it that came into it. There was a lot about Clary that I didn't like, but I can admire that in her, and I just feel like I just can't. I don't think I can justify putting Jace Wayland. I'd like to point out who calls him Wayland in 2019, but I feel like I can't justify putting him any higher. So yeah, is that what we're doing? Clary then Jace? I think that's what we're doing. Right, yeah, there we go. We'll go top to bottom. Favourite to least favourite. Alec Lightwood, Magnus Bane, Isabel Lightwood, Simon Lewis, Clary Frey, Jace Wayland, Luke Garraway, and Hodge Starkweather is what my final list has ended up being. And yeah, I think we're just gonna stick to that. In a minute, I'm gonna have to explain why Clary is above Jason. We're just gonna be like, I don't know. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that list. Now I'm looking at it and thinking, should I change Simon and Clary around? No, because Simon doesn't annoy me in the current books. Clary annoys me in the current books. So sometimes. So yeah, we're gonna leave it. Yeah, right, yeah. I'm gonna have to remake my room now because there's stuff everywhere to get the tripod that you're currently resting on into place. And then I will see you back here with Libby so we can discuss our results. Hello! So we finally finished ranking the characters. You just saw me haphazardly trying to do mine at a completely different date, which is the same date as today, to be fair. Libby has gone back over hers, and now we're going to reveal our rankings to each other and decide, just discuss, I think, why we put them there and what we agreed and disagreed on. Libby, should we start by discussing where you put yours? In fact, we'll tell each other first, and then we'll discuss it. So, from favourite to least favourite, what was your order?
So I have Isabel, and then I have Alec, then it's Magnus, then it's Jace, then Hodge, Clary, Simon, and Luke.
Right, yeah. That's something. Hodge is better than Clary, yeah?
I don't know.
Well, apparently, because that's how you read them on this. Okay, my list, I had Alec at the top, then Magnus, Isabel, Simon, Clary, Jace, Luke, and Hodge at the bottom. So, yeah, quite different in order.
I didn't have any really evidence to put Hodge place anywhere.
Yeah. What do you know of Hodge so far?
I know that he's obviously, he got angry at them for going to the hotel and stuff, but he hasn't done anything bad, but he hasn't done anything good, so I didn't know where to put him.
So he's a mech character.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of mech characters
so
in these
videos. Know where to put him.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel with the mech characters. I was the same with Luke. Luke, I didn't know where to put. I put Luke second to the bottom just because I didn't know where to put him. But you put him last. Tell us why. Why did you put Luke last?
I just don't get a good vibe off him.
Yeah.
I just feel like he's hiding a lot of stuff.
You don't trust him.
I don't trust him, so I thought I would put him at the bottom.
What do you know of Luke so far?
I know that he was talking to them guys. Do you know when he was talking to them two guys and they were in his house? They were in his house, and they were behind something.
Right. Ah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't get a good vibe from Luke, yeah?
No, I just don't get a good vibe.
Fair enough. Yeah. I'm trying to remember that you've only read some of the first book, and it's been a long time since I've read City of Bones, so my memory isn't as good as it once would have been. So you put Isabel at the top.
Yeah.
I put Alec at the top, but you put Alec second, so they were fairly close anyway, and I put Isabel in third. Could you tell us why, Isabel? Was your number one?
Because she's just so awesome.
Yeah.
And I just love, again, I love the vibe I get off her.
Yeah.
And she's quite, almost, fun.
Yeah.
And I just really like her because she's, my type of character that I would like.
Yeah, so you would be friends with her.
Yeah, I would be friends with her.
Yeah, I get that. yeah. So bearing in mind there's only two female characters on this list, the other one being Clary, Why did you put Clary third from the bottom?
She annoys me.
Fair enough, yeah.
It's just like she's always like I don't know, like she just makes me really annoyed every time she's like talking. And I don't know why.
She's just annoying.
Yeah, she just annoys me in general.
Any particular reason that stands out to you?
Well, she's very like all about her.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just really annoying, and she's like all about herself. Like, I know that's a good thing, but like it's also like really annoying.
Libby, it gets worse, honestly. Wait till you read See Your Glass.
I don't want to know.
Wait till you See Your Glass. But yeah, having read that, yeah, I understand. I think Clary, there's some things she does that are very selfless, and there are other things she does, looking at that particular scene in City of Glass, that questionable decisions that maybe could have gone in less selfish ways. You'll know when you read City of Glass. You'll know. Some people won't know because some people think very differently about that scene, but I'm not going to say what it is. But if you know, you know. So yeah, I put Clary above Jace and below Simon. Simon was 4th, so I put Clary in 5th, I believe. Because, well, we had a whole thing about this, about whether I should put Jace or Clary above each other. But I put Clary above Jace because I liked her in the first book. I'm rereading City of Bones at the moment, and I'm kind of remembering why I liked her in the first book. She's quite, like, down to earth at the moment, but I couldn't justify putting her any higher because I know how much she annoys me as the series continues. So that was why she was there. To be fair, now, in the books I'm reading, she's not as bad. Whether that's because we see her less or because she's matured as a person, I don't know. But, yeah, that's why. So I put Clary you put her in 3rd from the bottom, I put her in 5th from the top, so she's like, yeah, worked it out. Libby put Clary 1 below where I put Clary. And we put Jace in different places, though. This is fun. So you have Jace in 1, 2, 3. You have Jace in 4th place. I had Simon in 4th place, and I had Jace in 1 below Clary. So I had Jace in 6th place. So why is Jace your number 4?
And really, I just like him more than the other characters that I don't like. He's in between for me. Sometimes I feel like he's like a bit annoying, but other times I feel like he's quite. Sometimes he knows what he's. Do you know what I mean? Like he knows what he's doing sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Jace knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Does he?
Sometimes.
Any other reason? Do you think he's funny? Do you think he's good looking?
Not really.
No.
No.
You're not Jace.
He's in between for me. I don't like hate him. I don't not like him, but I don't like him like I do with like Alec and Isabel.
Right, so he's not like your top fave.
No, but he's not my like least fave either. Okay. He's like he's just like there.
To be honest, I expected because like usually how it goes with Jace, either you're not a fan of him or you like fancy the pants off him, and I thought you'd be more on the fancy the pants off him side of things, but you're not. You're like indifferent. Yeah, all right. There we go.
What's in the middle?
Yeah, we'll take that as word. Yeah, there we go.
He's just there for me.
He's just there. So there we go. Words from Libby. Jace Herondale. He's just there. All right. Who do we have left to talk about? Simon. Simon is second to the bottom.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, he gets on my nerves, and every time like Clary talks to Jace, he just whines for like a page, and you're like, please stop.
I was literally just talking about how he's the annoying best friend whiny character in the first book, and every time Clary speaks to Jace, Simon's like, oh, well, I'm your best friend.
Yeah, basically that's why I don't like him.
I put Simon higher because I would have put him lower based on how he was in the beginning of the Mortal Instruments, because it doesn't end after book 1. But then I decided to look at sort of how you see him as a character outside of the love triangle thing, which is his entire personality in the first few books. And he's actually a decent character as the series continues. He's quite funny. But only having knowledge of City of Bones, I can see why he probably gets on your nerves.
He really does.
Understandable. And last, I did save the best 2 till last. Why did you put Alec in number 2 and Magnus in 3?
Well, it was so hard to choose between them both because I both love them.
Yeah.
So much. Like, they are just like, I don't know, I just love them.
Yeah.
And Alec, I think he's quite funny in a way.
Is he?
In a way. Do you know what I mean? He's not like funny, but he's funny in the way he like acts.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's funny because he like hates Chloe down at the board.
We won't even discuss the representation of Alec in book 1 and everything that came with him.
Yeah, and I know he like the way he's described is if he's like people probably get like sometimes like they get the vibe like he's like really like horrible. But for me, I just feel like, and I don't know, I just feel like I just really like him.
Yeah, right, fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
And Magnus, why is Magnus 3rd?
Well, I couldn't like put him any lower than that. But I just love him so much and he's so cool.
Good.
And he's very upbeat.
Yeah.
And like, I just love his character and the way he like is.
That's alright, literally everybody loves Magnus Bane.
Yeah, he's like very, I think of groovy.
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 Groovy, I like that. Magnus Bane is groovy.
Groovy.
Well, I put Alec in first because I love Alec Lightwood with all my heart. He was the inspiration for one of my tattoos. He is just the light of my life. Oh, yeah. I love him so much. But I can agree that he was a bit of a jerk in book 1. He was
a funny jerk.
He was kind of horrible. I could have a whole in-depth conversation about the representation of Alec in book 1 and the kind of not even really a cliche character trope, I suppose, that he was sort of given, and personally I think that he deserved much better treatment in the early books before it was realised that he was a fan favourite, which I do think has a lot to do with why we see Alec a lot more now. But yeah, that's definitely a topic for another day. But Alec, I've always related to Alec. I'm actually going to be doing a video more about Alec soon and why I love him so much. But yeah, I think he was always someone who I could kind of relate to a bit, and his character development as the series goes on is like amazing. It's like next level great. But yeah, I think everybody loves Alec Lightwood. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Alec and Magnus. It would be weird. Yeah, Magnus I put in second because Magnus is groovy, as we earlier discussed. Because Magnus, he's just great, isn't he? He's really fun. He's like, again, who doesn't like Magnus Bane? I think he's just so upbeat. I always look forward to seeing him in like every book because Magnus shows up in every Shadowrunner Chronicles book. Oh, does he actually? Literally everyone. So whenever there's a new book that comes out, I'm always like, this is okay, but where's Magnus? Like, just waiting for the Magnus Bane cameo. But yeah, I think Magnus, nobody doesn't like Magnus. He's very fun, and I also really like his and Alec's relationship. But I also like how Magnus stands up for himself. At no point in it does he like let the Shadowhunters have a say over him. Like, a big reason why he didn't marry Alec for so long was because he wanted to make sure that it was an equal ceremony, because them worlders aren't supposed to be treated the same, which is why he waited so long, which it was something that I like massively respected. And also page 511 I don't think we were too far off our opinions. No. I think we were quite similar. I'd be quite interested to see if any of your opinions changed by the end of City of Bones. Not thinking about anybody in particular. But we will see. Thank you so much for watching. Please do comment below your opinions on the characters we have discussed and whether you agree more with Libby or me. But yeah, that is it. Thank you so much, and we will see you again very soon. Bye! You're gonna say bye?
Oh, you didn't tell me.
Say bye.
Bye?